Here we go again. The mid-month update for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium subscribers is here with a bunch of games dropping on June 17th. And a handful are already in the catalogue for you to play right now. We'll go through every game added and also those ones leaving the catalogue too. If you could do me a favour and drop me a like, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Let's do this! The headliner for the month is FBC Firebreak, a cooperative shooter that allows 3 players to protect the hallowed turf of the oldest house. If you haven't played the brilliant Control, that may mean nothing to you. Essentially, we are given anomalies to fend off, but these otherworldly aliens have somehow combined with our world, creating insane scenarios, like taking out a boss who is completely made up of sticky notes. We have 3 classes to choose from while holding off constant hordes. The Splash class, these players can whip out a hose and extinguish fires and save teammates from infection. There's the Jump class, which is a mobility kit that also charges electronics like lights and doors. And then there's the Fix kit, which repairs machinery and also has improved melee abilities. Teamwork between those 3 types is essential to keep each other alive, as the sheer ridiculousness of each challenge in this building becomes apparent. FBC Firebreak intends to add more content over the months and years to come and hits PS Plus Extra on June 17th. Next is another Five Nights at Freddy's game, Help Wanted 2. The sequel to the terrifying VR game has us play as a new Fazbear employee at the pizzeria business seen in Security Breach. And a thing to note right away is if you don't want to play in VR, that's totally fine. There's a flat screen version, no headset necessary. Our job starts by perfecting pizzas, but then we also provide animatronic maintenance and a flood of other mini-games that require a little concentration. And of course there's tons of jump scares and ear-piercing sounds that'll make even the simplest job nerve-wracking. There's 40 mini-games in total, and if you're gunning for the Platinum Trophy, it'll take about 18 hours. FNAF Help Wanted 2 has a Metacritic score of 8.7 out of 10, making this very good. An insane action puzzler is here in the form of We Love Katamari. In this, we roll around a small ball which gathers things as it passes by, creating huge spheres of destruction. Our dad is a god and tasks us with collecting objects of interest, like a simple coin on a table to an entire mountain and everything in between, all in the hopes of making new stars in the skies above us. It's weird, just go with it. If our Katamari hits a moving object, it will lose pieces and fall apart, which is the focus of the gameplay. This version of Katamari released in 2023 and has a Metacritic score of 86 out of 100, so this is another great game, with a 10-hour campaign and 15 hours if you want to grab the Platinum. Another franchise that is constantly dropping into PS Plus Extra is Battlefield, and this month it's 2042. The destructible war simulator supports up to 128 players on the same map. This was another game that was originally poorly received back in 2021, only receiving a review rating of 6 out of 10 on average, mainly due to there being little content and most notably there was no single player campaign in sight. But they didn't give up, they kept adding little bits and even reworked how classes and progression happens. So will you try it again? The role-playing game of the month is Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, which started life as a Kickstarter campaign and finally released last year. This is a JRPG that merges 3D worlds with 2D sprites to look really attention-grabbing. Combat is turn-based as we recruit dozens of characters to our team and pick and choose the best ones for each fight. Some characters join you immediately, while others take a bit more convincing. Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes has a review score of 79% and takes about 50 hours just to finish the story. Fans of twin-stick shooters should have a look-see at Endless Dungeon. Set in a cyberpunk space station, we unload hundreds of thousands of bullets to progress to our objective, which is the central core of this spacecraft, with 8 characters to choose from, each with different weapon choices and special abilities. Endless Dungeon is at its best when it's played online with other players. Managing the hordes in this procedurally generated megabase is imperative. But death is expected, and that's where the roguelite elements come in, unlocking permanent upgrades to hopefully get further on your next run. Endless Dungeon has a 7 out of 10 review score and takes about 14 hours to hit credits and 20 for the Platinum. This month's sim game is Train Sim World 5 and asks us to master train management, from keeping to a timetable to the inevitable commuter mayhem. The tracks are all real-world landmarks such as London Euston to Milton Keynes, and there's even the LA Metro link to ride through. Definitely one for superfans and train spotters. And there's also a hunting game this month, theHunter Call of the Wild on the PS4, a realistic blood sport sim that has us track down animals by observing their behaviour. The weather and the time of the day is dynamic, making some hunts tougher than first expected. There are also a bunch of June games already in your library right now, so no need to wait until the 17th for these. On the PS5 we have Another Crab's Treasure. It's a Souls-like game, yet we are a hermit crab walking on the seabed. Combat is a little more advanced than the genre usually has, with a skills tree to unlock both attacking and defensive options and some super moves along the way. The greatest thing for me is the armor system, which sees the shell on our back replaced with other objects, just like a real hermit crab does. Yet here, the shell on our back changes our stats. Another Crab's Treasure has a Metacritic score of 77%, with a 13-hour story and about 20 hours needed to get the Platinum Trophy. And it's in the catalogue right now. Also available now on the PS5 is Skull and Bones, the quadruple A Ubisoft pirate naval warfare game that flopped pretty hard a year ago. Since then, work has continued, which may go on to help its current review score of 59 out of 100. In fact, the Year 2 content is landing as we speak. Our job is to be the best pirate on the high seas, exploring the open world, plundering and pillaging as we go. The fights on the open waves are the main focus of the game as we assemble a crew and slowly upgrade our fleet. But there are also quite a few things you can do on dry land too. Will you give it a try, or is this one already sailed by? Skull and Bones has a 35-hour campaign and double that if you're going for the platinum. Next, Destiny 2 is back again. This time it's the Legacy Collection on both the PS4 and PS5. This version of the shared world looter shooter consists of 9 releases and expansions, including Lightfall, The Witch Queen, Beyond Light, Shadowkeep, Forsaken, The Pit of Heresy, and Shattered Throne. Essentially, this is the one-stop shop for tons of content in the Destiny 2 lineage, covering all the major plot points. Plus, on standard PS Plus this month, Essential, the Final Shape expansion is included too. If you haven't been keeping up with the constant DLCs, this could be a good way to get pulled back in. Unless you're a Titan main, then I don't like you. Another game waiting for you right now is Grand Theft Auto 3 The Definitive Edition, again on both PS4 and PS5. The game which took GTA into the 3D realm in an open world, which when seen back in 2001 absolutely blew players' minds. Things have obviously changed over the last 25 years, but GTA 3 still holds up and tells the story of mute protagonist Claude, who is double-crossed by his girlfriend, who then falls back into the criminal underworld. The original game has a Metacritic score of 97% and deserves to be replayed in my opinion, and I challenge you to get the Platinum Trophy before GTA 6 arrives. It'll take you about 30 to 40 hours. Good luck. I wasn't sure where to put this next game, so let's just shove it here. There's an 8-person battle royale game currently free on PS Plus, including Essential tier. Playable on both the PS4 and PS5, this is fun with the Fitzgeralds. The thing you should know immediately is that it leaves on June 19th, but if you claim it before, it's yours forever. Sadly though, it's not very impressive. In fact, it's borderline horrendous, which makes me want to play it even more. Grab it, don't grab it, you do you. If you've got this far into the video and you still haven't decided what to play this month, let me throw an idea your way. I have a feeling people playing FBC Firebreak will enjoy the weird world it's set in, so therefore I recommend the game it's built upon, Control. In fact, the Ultimate Edition on the PS4 and PS5 has all the DLC included too. Set in third person, we play as an agent of the Federal Bureau of Control who is promoted to director on the day everything goes wrong. Investigating a corruption brought here by the otherworldly presence of the Hiss, we quickly develop super abilities to face them head on, and the level of paranormal activity slowly ramps up. Take it from me, keep an eye on the refrigerator. And fans of Alan Wake will quickly realise Control is pivotal to that story too. Control is already in the catalogue right now, and I highly recommend it. Alas, it's the part in the video where games leave the service and lock us out. But thankfully, it's only 6 games this time around and not the 20 plus we had last month. Going on June 17th is Monster Hunter Rise on both PS4 and PS5, the action RPG that gives us a bunch of oversized weapons and tells us to track down giant threats in the world, even though they're not threats most of the time. Also leaving is Rogue Legacy 2, the 2D platformer that includes roguelite and Metroidvania elements in a procedurally generated dungeon. It's a great game. Say goodbye to After Us, the single-player action-adventure game, and even PSVR 2 games aren't immune to being yeeted by Sony. Goodbye Kayak VR Mirage. The massively underrated Inscription exits, and Avicii Invector, a game about matching music beats, is booted out too. All these games vanish on June 17th, giving you just under a week to finish any of these. Okie dokie, over to PS Plus Premium and Deluxe content for June, and already added this week are 2 point-and-click adventures from the 1990s, Myst and Riven, which are old school to the core, with FMV video interspersed as you make your way through exploring and solving little puzzles. Check out this amazing acting. They certainly didn't age well, but hopefully someone will enjoy Myst and Riven. And rounding out the month is the brilliant game Deus Ex: The Conspiracy on both PS4 and PS5. This is an emulation of the PS2 game that showed us that action games don't always need to be about shooting, as talking to NPCs here can drastically change scenarios, making some ridiculously harder and others a walk in the park. Set in the future where people can add cybernetics to their body and the world's economy is collapsing, causing shadow groups to fight for power. We did it! That's all the games coming out this month. What are you playing? I'm Adam, you're awesome, it's been a pleasure. See ya!